Welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be showing you how to bake using an electric oven. And first things first, you need to understand your temperature knobs. I've explained this in depth on my other video on how to operate a simple cooker. So we have the timer knob, we have the temperature knob, and then we have the programming knob. These are the knobs that are used for programming when you're using an electric oven. You need to know the amount of time that your food is going to cook so that you can set the right time using the timer. You also need to know the temperature that you're going to use and the program that you're going to use depending on the type of food that you're going to cook, where we said for the programming knob, for example, in this cooker we have heat coming from the upper element and from the lower element using a fan, and then we have heat coming from the upper element and the lower element without using a fan, and then we have heat coming from the upper element, and then on this other side we have heat coming from the lower element, and then we have the grilling option, and then we have the grilling option with a fan. So understand your knobs, the type of food that you're cooking, and the program that you're going to use. Are you grilling? Are you baking? Are you broiling? So that is what will help you to set the right program right here. So down here, so kindly check my other video on how to operate these knobs. If your cooker doesn't have a timer, you can buy one, or you can just use your watch or even set a stopwatch so that you can be notified when your food is done cooking. The timer has an audible signal, so once your food has cooked, you will just hear the audible signal and you will come and check your food. So if your food is coming out uncooked or halfway baked, peeping your face against the oven door to check if food is cooked isn't the best way. You may want to start using a timer. Something else on using this programming knob, some recipes require that you preheat the oven, so make sure you preheat the oven maybe for 10 minutes using the temperature knob if it is 180 degrees Celsius. So time and temperature affects the texture and the flavor of food. Starting cooking in a cold oven might make your food cook unevenly, and this might compromise the end product or the quality of your food. The food might come out either half cooked or halfway baked. If you didn't choose the right temperature, maybe you may not have the right texture of food that you want if it is baking or even roasting. Okay, you need to have the right texture of food, and that impacts the flavor of your food. So we have a pan right here which is so big. This is the pan for the oven. So we have this pan right here, you can use it for baking. And then we have this is known as a rotisserie, and these are used for food in the oven. So I'm going to remove that so that you can see the shelves very well. So the oven has some shelves. You can see that we have some shelves down here. Actually this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shelves. So when you're baking, it is very important to know where you're placing your food. Okay, you can place your rack either in the first shelf, in the second shelf, or in the third shelf, the fourth shelf, the fifth shelf. So it is important to note that the food on the top of the shelf right here will cook or bake quicker because they are near the upper heating element. So if you want crispy food, this is where you should position your food, and also it is perfect for browning your food. So if you want your food to brown, then put it on the upper shelf. Okay, then we have the middle shelf. So most people use this shelf for most dishes. With this shelf there is even circulation of air around your oven, and there is equal distance from both the top and the lower heating elements, so that makes it ideal when baking. It ensures that your cake, for example, bakes evenly without browning at the top and leaving the bottom, or browning the bottom and leaving the top. And also remember to use the right programming for heat coming from both the upper and the lower element. And also you can use the fan setting for equal distribution of heat around your oven. So that is it with the middle shelf. And then we have the bottom shelf. Okay, so the bottom element is the primary source of heat, and that makes your food hot. So this makes it perfect for roasting large cuts of meat or getting crust to your bread. So if you're roasting large crust of meat such as turkey, you need to place them on the lower element, because that is where we have so much heat. Or even if you want maybe your bread to have a crust, you need to place your rack on the lower shelf. So these racks play a very important role when you're baking. Okay, so those who have been asking, maybe my cake doesn't bake at the top or the bottom, it depends with where you are placing your rack, and also it depends with your programming. You should program your heat coming from both the upper and the lower elements, and also you should ensure that your rack is at the middle part so that there can be even distribution of heat. So I hope that is clear, and from now henceforth we will use our oven correctly. Make sure you're placing your rack at the right place. Also make sure what you want to do your food. Do you want to roast? Do you want to broil? Do you want to bake? That will guide you when you're choosing the program and when you're choosing where to place your rack in the oven. So guys, for this tray you can use it for baking your food, and also it is used to collect juices. For example, when you're baking chicken, you can put it at a lower shelf so that it can collect the juices so that they cannot fall on your oven down here. So it is very helpful. You can put it down when you're baking to collect the juices of meat or chicken, or you can use it for baking vegetables. It is so helpful, you guys. So the oven door is very nice. You can open it when you want to wash in here, because sometimes when you're baking, some soups can get in the oven door. So this oven for the silver cooker, it is very nice. When it comes to cleaning, you can easily open it and clean the inside of the oven door. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like this video, share and subscribe to my channel. See you on my next video. If you have a question, you can leave it down on the description box down below. See you on my next one. And guys, remember to subscribe to my channel. Bye.